right. Tommy Robinson. One man. Making a splash around the world. I call this one Confronting Tommy Robinson's Ultimate Enemy because the first woman up is his ultimate enemy. It's a woman from the UK that does international relationships, graduated with the Muslim nations. And she is the ultimate kumbaya cuck, just the perfect person that the Muslims would sucker in and take advantage of. She's a fool. So, it just so happens that, you know, I stumbled across him. Then we got a Scottish guy who's not a big fan of Tommy, and then we got a couple of fans of Tommy. So Tommy's winning them over, though. I mean, out there, even people that may not totally agree with his methods will agree with some of the things he says, and the fact that they are trying to censor him is resonating with the people. And they're going, well, you know, might not agree with what he says, but he's got the right to say it, kind of a deal. So I love the man because, well, he does what I do on steroids, and so I support him 110%. So here it is. If you like this one, you know the routine. Like it, share it. You know, let's get Tommy's name out there. And if you can, go get one of the Tommy teas that I got and spread the message around about Mr. Robinson. So you know what it is, a spiritual battle. We're fighting on a material plane. And give me the material to stay out there, okay? God bless you all. Let's get to this one. You know.
True.
Yeah, so are you on vacation?
Yeah, I live in DC.
You live in DC?
Yeah.
And what do you do there?
International relations. International relations.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For your government?
No, I'm a graduate student at one of the schools there. So.
And what kind of, give me an example of what international relations you deal in.
So my speciality is the Middle East.
Really?
Yeah. So for example, I was recently in Saudi, having meetings about the conflict between Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
Between
Qatar and Saudi Arabia. So yeah, having meetings.
And what issues do you normally discuss and deal with?
Conflict is obviously one. Things like national identity, nationalism, what else?
You see, you are interesting. You see, this is it, because there is so much going on right now.
Yeah.
With that, the influx of immigration coming in, class of cultures, that's going on.
Yeah.
So is that primarily what you're dealing with?
Yeah, exactly, that sort of thing. Yeah. So, I've done a lot of stuff on migration.
And what is your take? What do you feel about it?
What do I feel about it?
Yeah.
I can understand why people are, I don't say afraid of immigrants. I can see that the sort of identity issues, that people are afraid that their identity is going away. But at the same time, I don't know, I believe in kindness. I've traveled a lot around the world. I've seen a lot of poverty, and I kind of feel people should be allowed to go wherever they want. And
yeah, but indeed, in that instance, I could give you reams, story after story after story of liberals, open-minded, like-minded, kumbaya, that have traveled to Middle Eastern countries and gotten murdered and raped. So, you know, there are cultures that sometimes you got to be careful what you go into. I mean, we can look them up. They do exist. I mean,
but they happen here.
But I think
raped here.
No. We're talking about, you know, because of the class cultures, because these people. But now, I don't think it's so much that people are afraid of immigrants as much as they're afraid of the rush of immigration coming in and having them to kind of, you know, a point of assimilation where we can come together. That, I think, is, of course, I'm talking primarily, you're familiar with Tommy Robinson, I'm sure.
I'm not a big fan of his, I gotta be honest.
Well, I can understand why, you know, you're saying that, but I think you've got to misnomer, because I think what he's talking about is, because he goes in and tries to talk to the immigrants, and he's the one getting attacked. And just the fact that they're trying to silence him is something to me that is worrying, because if, you know, censorship in itself denotes tyranny. And the fact that they're trying to silence this man, I mean, there was even a proposal by one of the politicians to bar him from going to public places. I mean, how do you do that? How do you even justify that?
Yeah, but if someone is also, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've seen that he says, I mean, he does incite hatred, and...
I beg your pardon, I've never heard him say anything.
Really?
Never once heard him incite hatred in any instance whatsoever. He tries to promote understanding. I've watched him, film after film, go into neighborhoods, try to talk to the immigrants, try to say, look, you're in my country. Is there a way, you know, we can work something out here where you're not promoting Sharia law? Because when you're talking about what they throw him in jail for, you know, that one time was you stand in front of a courthouse talking about a Muslim child group prostitution grooming ring. They come along, they take him off the street, and 4 hours later he's thrown in jail for 13 months. I mean, how do you justify that?
Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
I can understand you not want to talk about it because you got obviously no argument, nothing to say.
Not my stand.
Yeah. Another kumbaya liberal trying to get ahead and I mean, what was she? A globalist. In a word, a globalist. Trying to destroy nation states and kumbaya, we should all love one another. I hope she goes on a bicycle trip through Afghanistan, see how long she lasts. No,
they don't listen to you.
Read this morning, Theresa May has about 10 days before they kick her out.
She's been getting kicked out for 2 years. They've been trying to get rid of that bitch for years. The only decent bitch we ever had was Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
She didn't fuck around, you know, and nobody, and the Russians knew that, the Americans knew that, the Germans knew that. She didn't piss around. She just told them straight.
Now, what do you think they're going to do about Tommy Robinson? Do you think
what about him? He's just an aggravating shit.
You think so?
Oh, he was there in Glasgow, my hometown. When was that? About 3 months ago, aggravating some people who were just standing minding their own business. He was just looking for publicity, you know. I can't stand people like that. You don't need that.
I don't think that's what he's doing.
No, he did that.
Why would he do that and suffer all of the wrath that's coming down upon him from the government? Why would you do that?
What wrath is it? I mean, what kind of wrath is he?
They threw him in jail and tortured him. How's about that for wrath?
They don't do that in my country.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
So he wasn't thrown in jail, put in solitary confinement, and had to eat tuna fish for a month and a half because they were poisoning the food? That didn't happen? He didn't lose 45 pounds?
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
Look at the man now. You can't even see how...
So he didn't lose 45 pounds?
What was he doing in Glasgow 3 months ago then?
Probably trying to raise awareness of the fact that your country is being taken over by Islam.
Oh, that's London. That's not the country. That's only London. In my part of the world, in Scotland...
So let's go this way. We'll go
two kinds of people we don't get in the north of Scotland. Those people and black people. We don't get them. They never come near the north of Scotland because it's too fucking cold.
It's not because of the attitude of the people at all, though, huh?
Well, we're only a 5 million nation.
Yeah.
You see, we have our own government, but it's just an arse-licking government for the government in London. We've all known that.
Yeah,
We've been under the English shield now for 400 years.
Yeah.
That's why half of them came across here.
Do you think you'll ever be able to be independent?
No point.
No.
They stole our oil, they took our gas, they took our money, they just did what their ancestors did 300 years ago, trampled on us and sent us over to America or to Australia. Yeah. So we don't get it. The English, we got no time for them, and we even less time for those politicians. But Tommy Robson, he has his own kind of supporters. That's fine, every man is entitled to get that. But one thing I can tell you, there's absolutely no fucking way that man was tortured in the jail.
Oh no, he was. And the other thing is that I'm sure of about him is the fact that anytime they try to silence someone, there's even one of the politicians over there trying to say they're going to ban him from even going to public places. But how do you do that?
You can't do that.
Well, they're even bringing it up, though.
It was in Glasgow, and it was in a public place.
Even bringing it up. Well, he tried to come over here to speak to our Congress, and they banned him from doing that. They wouldn't allow him to come here. So the fact that they are censoring him dramatically, even that alone says that he must have something to say.
He must have something to say. I wish he would say it in a better manner. He was originally picked up for, what was it again? Causing a riot in a Muslim area.
Well, I don't think, I don't think he caused anything. I followed the man.
It's very easy to cause a riot in a Muslim area.
I've watched him. I've watched all his videos. He goes and he tries to talk, and he's attacked.
Yeah.
The man never goes in to instigate. He's the only one that ever gets attacked.
That's all down south in England. They can keep that shit down there. We don't give a damn. They're the ones.
Well,
they're the ones who are allowed to build the tunnel. The minute they built that tunnel, we all knew London's pretty fucked up now. And then within a year, what did they get?
London's done.
Whoa. The French, they don't tolerate that shit. They threw all these fucking refugees, all those immigrants, they threw them on a train, sent them through the tunnel, let them deal with it.
Yeah, but they're burning in France right now.
Now what do we do? Well, you know something? The French are a tough nation. I'll tell you one tougher than that is the Belgians. There's only two nations on this planet that'll stick up, put the boot in and say...
The Polish seem to be sticking up for themselves, too.
They got a fucking cheek too. They transferred all their people out to America, out to the United Kingdom. There are certain areas in the United Kingdom...
Yeah, but they're not allowing any crap in their country.
No, of course not. That's the whole thing, because they now have a better life than they've ever had. Why would they have these guys coming in? Well, the Germans after the Second World War allowed the Turks and Muslims in to help with the regeneration of the East and West Germany. They regretted it to this day because the agreement was with those countries that they would go back after 5 years. They didn't go back. They're still there 40 years later. Now you've got big problems in Germany.
Well, I think it even goes deeper than that in the sense that if you want to get to the real powers that be, the Rothschilds and the elites of that, they want to destroy Western civilization and bring it down so they can come in and they're using the Muslims to do that.
When people ask us my opinion, I just say, something, there's a man I admire, an American. His name is Clint Eastwood, a fantastic actor and a great director. He was asked, his words actually speak the truth. What do you think? He says, it's simple. If you happen to come in contact with a rattlesnake, he says the rattlesnake doesn't see you as a rattlesnake, so it kills you. If you don't even smell like a rattlesnake, it kills you. If you don't have the same color as a rattlesnake, it kills you. So on, and so on. And he's absolutely right. That's the way these people are. I know there's some good ones. But maybe these good ones need to get together and sort the little baddie boys out. Get them out of the get them out of the places of worship.
Well, Trump brought up the parable of the snake. Same thing.
Clint Eastwood said that years back, way back, And I always thought about that. I thought that's a very, very good comparison.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah, I've worked with these guys before, but at the same time, they're not the same. My family, she's down there. She's from India, so it's a different culture. It's a different culture, but don't forget, her father and people like that in 1945 had to put up with the Muslim separation, and that killed over 1 million of their people. you know, and theirs. I mean, Pakistan didn't get there just by accident. You know, the Americans helped get Pakistan, and this side, it's now Bangladesh, but it used to be both sides. And the Russians, of course, backed India up to the hill to compensate for that. But now, I don't know, he needs to step up to the mark here, because Putin is moving in. He's taken a couple of countries, as you probably know, over since he's come into power, and he's building up his nuclear forces along that western front, our front. That's not good. We've taken a step back 20, 30 years now, and that's not good when that guy starts that nonsense, if you know what I mean. So maybe the Muslim one might die off eventually. I doubt it. How long have we been fighting them? 2,000 years? Yeah. With no...
It's going to happen soon.
It's got to end soon. It has to end soon.
It'd be nice.
Take care.
So.
I love Tommy Robinson. Yeah. He needs to come over here on this side of the road.
I just spoke to a woman from Europe, from Wales, that does international relations with the Middle East, and she was all about, oh, I don't like Tommy Robinson and all this bullshit, because she went to the whole kumbaya. And I says, yeah, well, it's fine. Yeah, go ride a bicycle through there. You know, see what happens to you.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
How'd you get hip to Tommy Robinson? How'd you do that?
I've been watching for years, just watching him, you know, online and everywhere.
Yeah, he's a balls to the walls guy. Yeah. He's a real dude, man.
And the lady with him is pretty good too, you know. I think they separated a little bit now. That young lady was with him, Connor. You know, I don't remember her name, but she was with him.
Yeah, he's going through a trial right now.
Oh, okay, that's what
we speak. Yeah, he's going through a trial. They're trying to put him back in jail, of course.
What do you think about the Minnesota senator? How the way she talks about the United States and Israel and all, that's crazy. I can't believe we're the United States of America, like Trump. You know, I love my voted for him. I can't believe he can't throw her out of there. I just want Kenny. You know, I know you got to go through a bunch of bullshit, but I just
the voters got to throw her out.
She
Congress
says it against us.
Yeah,
she you can see it plain as day when she talks. She's not hot enough. I just can't believe they didn't kick her out for now. Maybe I'm the only crazy one.
Well, it's got to go through the people that put her in. It's got to go through the Congress.
I think they're going to put her out. That's what they're saying now. But
well, one would hope so.
Yeah, I would.
But what the Muslims do, they're very smart playing the system.
Yeah, that's what
they come over and take over an area, and all of them vote. None of them sit out. They all vote. So a small percentage can go into an area and then put someone like her in.
Yeah.
And that's how they take over. So they know how to play the game. But it's hard for them to do it here because we got too much free communication.
Exactly. Freedom of speech and all that.
Yeah.
But it should be a different standard for her, though. You know, you live here, you know, that would be treason to me, but
that's why then we throw her around. It's our job to throw her around. It's our job to say, and it's already, I mean, her and Cortez's popularity are plummeting.
Oh yeah, even the Muslims starting.
At
least half of them. That's great.
They always overreach. They always overreach. That's what they did with Tommy Robinson. They overreached. Now I've talked to a lot of other supporters of his. They asked me, I think they throw him back in jail. They said, no, he's become too popular because they've overreached. When they threw him in jail at one time for reporting in front of the courthouse,
I watched that.
You know, and then boom, the protest all over the world exploded. They found out how popular he was. Now he's even talking about running for parliament.
Might have a chance. Might have a chance. People get fed up everywhere. Fed up everywhere. Like I said, Hillary, you got another good picture there. Like I said, all the crimes she done did, and they know she did. Anybody else would be in jail right now. You know that. She had too much money behind.
Well, now that it's come out that there's no collusion with the Mueller report. And I hate to use this word because I'm trying to use it. Hopefully, that we start seeing some pushback. Now we go on the offensive. All right, release the FISA documents. Let's find out who started this. Why did they lie? Who lied? Just start pounding them.
Back to back,
and let's get we spent how many millions of dollars and on what? For whom and who lied?
Exactly.
See, we need to go on the offensive now.
I know.
And if we don't, if Barr sits on his ass like Sessions did, then it starts to get worrisome. Then it comes to us. Then we have
that's
to
just a little part of the whole show. It's like we screwed up in all kind of ways. Like I said, when they had the earthquake, we gave them $100 million. They ain't got. Now they get the company that does from Iraq and all that, American company, and then they see like a quarter of that money. Everything else, who knows?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we just pour money at them and think that we're going to go ahead and buy them off. They love our idiocy doing that because we have no idea where the money goes.
I know. It goes in everybody's pocket. It shouldn't happen like that.
They could be using our money to pay off our politicians
all our debt we owe to China.
Yeah. It's nuts. So you're from England.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were there?
What, England?
Yes.
A week ago.
A week ago?
Yeah.
Of course you're familiar with Tommy Robinson.
Yeah.
And what are your feeling on Tommy Robinson? What do you think of Tommy Robinson?
I think he might have a point in some way, but he might also go about it in the wrong way.
You think so?
Yeah, like he highlights genuine problems, but people see him as a fanatic, I think.
Well, I think the media portrays him as a fanatic.
Yeah. A lot of us don't trust the media over there at all.
Well,
it started over here, like during your election, because obviously we had Brexit first, didn't we?
Yes. Well, nobody trusts the media over here anymore either.
That's what I mean, like. So we had Brexit, and then you had this election.
Right.
And then from your election, we were all like, the American media are bad, and then everyone in England were like, well, our media's bad as well.
Oh,
and
indeed.
it's sort of like, it goes from there, really. But cause I guess you're really neither, are you, in this?
Yeah.
So, it's...
Now, I haven't heard. I know Tommy Robinson went to trial a few days ago.
Yeah.
Is that still going on?
Yeah. I think they're just trying to shut him up. Really, I think he's dangerous to them because although a lot of people see him as like a crazy person, there's a lot more people now who are thinking, hang on a second, although he's not doing it the right way, some of these points, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean the problem we've got with all these the Muslim sex gangs and stuff like that's a big problem. Big problem.
Well, when they threw him in for reporting on that Muslim sex, that sparked riots around the world, protests around the world.
It's crazy.
And I mean, and now the censorship that you have of the. I mean, the last I heard, one of the politicians proposed to bar him from even going to public places.
Yeah. It's the censorship that scares me in our country now.
Well, indeed.
It should be.
Well, I mean, they're trying to push it here, too, but not to the level they're pushing it in the UK.
You guys wouldn't take it. We take a lot more shit than you do in terms of that. Like, ordinary people. But, I mean, I followed all the elections and stuff, and it's just, like, these last few years have been crazy, really, haven't they? So, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, the big one for us is Brexit at the moment, which is, like, crazy. But, I mean, I voted to leave, but not for, for economic reasons. We can do so much better, But apparently, I'm, like, I'm a crazy person for doing that. A lot of the people my age, I'm 28, a lot of the people around my age all are very pro-EU, pro all that sort of shit. And I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Like, and they're like, oh, you're just a far-right crazy person, you don't like immigration, you don't like... I'm like, no, like, let's back it up here a minute. Like, no, it's crazy, man. But people, with the internet, people are like, they're seeing a lot more of the information now, and people are making much better decisions, I think. But I think here and there we've got the same problem. Is you've got two parties and we've got two parties essentially, and nobody likes either of them. No, not at all. There's got to be. It's only going to take a little bit for a third person to come up, good or bad, and they'll get in. I think. Because I think you guys thought Trump was that sort of third option in a way.
Well, he was. He was no more a Republican than Bernie Sanders was a Democrat. I mean.
But he seems to have, at least my impression, he seems to have fallen in line with the party a little bit more. But again, when the election was going on, people were saying, oh, he'll get in, he'll change everything. It's like, no, he won't, will he? The president hasn't got that power.
I think the pragmatic people understood that you don't come into a system this corrupt and change it overnight.
Yeah.
That you're good, and it's proven. He's been in battle. I mean, when you have all the media against you, you have members of your own party against you. you're going to have a hard row, and it has been.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's gotten what he's gotten done. Done.
Do you think he'll get re-elected?
As long as the economy stays okay, yes.
I think so as well. Because you guys usually stick with a president for 2 years, for 2 terms, don't you? Unless they're really bad.
Yeah, unless they really screw up.
Yeah.
It's always. I mean, people vote with their bellies. If the economy goes south, then God forbid they put in a socialist in there. Then we're really
Yeah. Well, that's what we've got. We've got obviously our Labour Party at the moment, is led by Jeremy Corbyn, who's just basically a communist.
Yeah.
And that's why you'll never win in our country. And the problem with that is that there's no. The Conservatives that are in power, at the moment, they've got no opposition because he's such a laughingstock. It's only students who'll vote for him. And you can't win on that vote. Normal people are like, this guy's, can't let him in, he'll ruin the country.
Yeah. And May seems like a joke. She seems completely weak.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
I know.
But the problem we need is that we need somebody good, because it's only going to take that one person, good or bad, to come in as a third option, and he'll get in. He'll win.
Tommy's been talking about running for Parliament.
He wouldn't get in yet, though. I don't think. It's not that bad yet. Yeah. Normal people aren't suffering enough. Like, I mean, I'm just like, I'd say I'm middle class. Like me personally, my family, we're not lower middle class, we're not upper. We do okay, you know what I mean? We're all right. I mean, I'm in America, so it's not too bad. Yeah. You know, I've got enough money to come here, but it's not bad enough for us to really see that yet. Our economy's doing all right, so, but.
Yeah, but I would, like you already mentioned, I wish they'd get a little bit more pissed off at the freedoms that are being taken away.
Well, it annoys me, but people just don't care. Like, we seem to be quite apathetic at the moment. I'm not sure why the English people are like that yet at the moment. I'm not sure.
Well, the ones I've run into out here, most of them seem a bit more upset about that than not. So I have some hope that there might be some
It'll get there, but I think it'll take something big or something very to get it going. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I know that from what I listened to about people getting with the Brexit thing, they're so just sick of it going on and on and on. It's like just get it over with, kind of deal.
Yeah. I think a lot of people feel that way about just politics in general now as well.
Which is a shame, because I think that's what the powers that be trying to beat you down.
That's it, exactly. But a lot of people, I think, they're just so sick of the whole thing now. They don't watch the news or the TV. They just forget it. Yeah. As long as I'm alright, it doesn't matter. I suppose that's their attitude, but it's the wrong attitude.
Exactly, that is the wrong attitude, because I think that's what they want us to do, to not stay involved.
Yeah. I mean, it's clear that our Conservatives, the only reason they're pushing Brexit is because they know if they don't, they won't stay in power. The last election after Brexit, they ran on the Brexit to get the votes, but if they hadn't run on that, none of them would have got in, I don't think. But again, as I said, people don't want Labour because it's run by communists, so.
What do you think they're going to do with Tommy? You think they might what would happen if they're going to put him back in jail? Do you think there's going to be...
I don't think they will now. He's too high profile, I think.
Yeah.
He's been noticed by too many big people to have that happen to him now, I think.
Yeah, they don't want to make him a martyr.
No, so I think they're going to go with the whole just making him seem like a crazy person, tarnishing his reputation, tarnishing anybody who supports his reputation. But it's changing. People on my Facebook who I never thought would post something to him saying, look, I don't agree with what he says, but this is obviously a problem that he's reporting.
Well, just like anything else, anytime it's sort of like no weapon used against us will prosper. When they push so hard to censor them, it kind of drives people towards it. It has that opposite effect.
At least they've got that, I suppose.
People will go, well, I may not agree with them, but I don't like the fact that I've heard this. I don't like the fact that they're censoring. Which will make people start to listen to them. Like you said, they're going to hey, he's making sense in some areas. He's not that bad of a guy.
No, he's not. He hasn't done anything, but I don't know. But it's just the problem with England is it's London that speaks for us, and London is not English anymore. There's like 20% English people in London now. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that that is where people see England, and it's not. And what got Brexit voted for was people where I come from. It's 95% 90% white, middle class, lower class. They got pissed off. I'm not surprised.
Well, same here. I mean, we got the East Coast and the West Coast. New York City, and L.A.
and all the middle bit is
and all the middle is something else, and then you got these two major coasts that are trying to dictate everything in between.
Same with us. But I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. In England especially, it seems like it's about time to be a white person. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't experienced.
Well, no, they're trying to vilify it.
Yeah, a little bit.
They always need villains.
Yeah.
It's always the villain. It's always the villain they gotta have. So now it's us.
Yeah.
We're the.
I mean, it's obviously just a small, very vocal minority that are pushing this narrative, I think. But they're making enough noise. It's just. Yeah. But I don't know. So I think subconsciously, that was a little bit of the Brexit vote as well. I think a lot. I mean, my dad, he's like 67. He was that as well. He was like, well, you know what, fuck them. Let's get out. So, interesting times. We'll see what happens, I suppose.
Amen.
Hopefully, it'll be peacefully resolved.
Yeah, hopefully. But if we're going to use history as a blueprint, I wouldn't put too much. I wouldn't bet on it. There's going to be something. Eventually, because the ones that are crazy, the ones that are indeed pushing it, you cannot reason with. They will not be reasoned with.
No.
And they're not going to sit down. So what else can you do?
No. I suppose at least, I mean, people talk about you guys with guns and stuff, but at least you got them. Like, I'd have a gun.
Indeed.
I'd have a gun in a second. I mean, I don't really need one where I live. Like, it's not, but... I like shooting guns. I like owning guns. If I could own one, I would. I definitely would. It definitely keeps you safe, doesn't it?
Oh, well, indeed. So, I mean, that's the one thing that's kind of crazy about the left. They give up their guns and then they want to fight. Okay.
Yeah. What's going to happen? Like, it's crazy.
It's good. Bring your sticks and stones. Let's go.
Oh, man. All
right, brother, man.
Nice
pleasure talking to you.
I'll see you next time.
All right.
How about that first bitch, huh? Then her cuck boyfriend has to come up and rescue her. She couldn't get in too deep, could she? Oh well. Go get yourself a Tommy T, will you? And, that's badass Uncle Sam.threadless.com. And help me out there. See you soon on the streets. God bless you.